Hello and welcome to week 11 in sociology, and this week we are of course going to be finishing off our discussion about gender. We'll finish off the lecture part that I was getting into, and then we are going to go into the movie Killing Us Softly, and then with whatever time we have left, we're going to make our way through chapter 13 and chapter 14. Now, chapter 13 is also going to involve an in-class activity. So I got to tell you, we'll probably not even get to chapter 14. And we might let 14 rest, just so we don't get too far behind and kind of thing and just read about chapter 14. There are no assignments associated with chapter 14, but we'll see. It's a very interesting topic, particularly in the history of sociology, to talk about marriage. But what we're going to be doing this week, the assignment is an in-class assignment where we're going to be looking at your particular plans. You're not going to be sharing this with anybody, but you're going to be looking at your particular plans for retirement. Taking the opportunity in class to use a retirement calculator to figure out what you need to do now so that you can live comfortably when you retire, taking into consideration Social Security, retirement, any sort of options that you have, and really, for sure, actually engaging in the process of some planning. Of course, I'm not an investment counselor, so armed with this information, you may then pursue it, and I would definitively urge you to do so. You might pursue some investments or looking at a portfolio or 401k or something like that to try and get this going, because there's a stark reality to what we're going to be doing about when will your money run out, in terms of if you save up a certain amount of money. And all of this sort of right off the bat, sort of not taking Social Security into consideration. We'll be talking about all of those, but simply looking at that period of time where we move ourselves out of the workforce and we're dependent on a flow or a stream of income from somewhere else, either our savings or our retirement plan or Social Security. So we're having a discussion about those kinds of benefits that we have, and we'll also be taking a little bit of time looking at the difference between welfare and entitlements. Those are actually a kind of official sociological terms to describe different kinds of benefits that we receive from government agencies. So we'll be looking at that stuff when we talk about aging and the elderly. And we'll see if we get to the family and marriage stuff. There's some really fun stuff to talk about in terms of the whole marriage thing and what that means, what it meant in the past, what's actually happening in society when people get married, the purpose for getting married, and all this stuff from a sociological perspective. Interesting stuff. So we have a good, cool classes coming up. Tomorrow we're going to be getting into finishing up the gender and sexuality thing, and then we're going to be moving on to the other chapters. So looking forward to classes this week, and have a great week.